Exactly. You're showing exactly what's in your heart,
right,
you know, and what's not in your heart.
That's right.
You know. All right. You ready, brother?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Derek.
All right. How old are you, Derek?
I'm 20. I'm 20. I'm 49.
49.
Yeah, I'll be 50 July.
I was gonna say you look young in the face though. If you didn't have the gray you have, you might have got me.
Thinking about my birthday, I'll be 50 July 26.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from West Philly.
West Philly. And how was your childhood growing up?
I had an amazing childhood. I was actually raised in a house with my biological mother and father.
Two-parent home?
Yeah, two-parent home. My father passed away in 99. My mom passed away in 98.
Okay.
They were together for like 42 years.
Oh, wow.
So when she passed, he basically, you know,
took
let
over?
himself go. And, you know, he basically like gave up and let himself go. And, you know, his significant other was gone, so.
Yeah. And
I had an older brother. My brother died in 2010. He had a bad heart.
He died in 2010, you said?
2010, yeah.
Okay. How did your parents pass?
Well, my mother, she had kidney failure.
Okay.
And my father, he was on insulin. You know, he had high blood pressure, hypertension, and all that stuff. And he basically, once she was gone, he basically let himself go. And neither one of them were addicts. The only thing my father was addicted to was cigarettes. No alcohol.
Hold up 1 second for the train.
Yeah.
So he sort of died from a broken heart.
He basically died from a broken heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's extremely sad and extremely common, right?
Right. Yeah.
Especially imagine being with somebody 40-something years.
But that's the thing, though. When I was young, I didn't understand how much an anomaly I was in my neighborhood until I got a little older and I started realizing that all my friends were basically raised by their mothers or their grandmas.
Exactly. A two-parent home is extremely
right. That's
uncommon,
almost obsolete now. Now it's obsolete, but back then it was rare. We're talking in the 80s, so
yeah.
2010, shit. That shit is like gone.
And did you graduate from high school?
I didn't graduate. I got my GED. Okay. Unfortunately, I went upstate. I got my GED while I was upstate. But I left school when I was in the 10th grade. Actually, I was an AB student. I just was bored with the curriculum. Yeah. And wanting to be in the streets, you know.
Okay. So at what age did you go to the penitentiary?
I went to the penitentiary when I was 20 years old.
20?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you go to the penitentiary for?
I went to the penitentiary for armed robbery and assault.
Okay. How much time you do?
I did 7 years.
7? Okay. And where were you at upstate?
I was graders 4 when they still was classifying. Yeah. And I was at Rockview.
Okay. How was your time in the penitentiary?
Believe it or not, it was educational. A lot of people who I didn't see prior to then, I knew where they were now because I ran into them in the penitentiary. But back then, the penitentiary was actually still the penitentiary. Yeah, you know, and back then you could still go to school. You can get, you know, grants for school and stuff like that. Penitentiary was actually about rehabilitation.
What year was that?
This was in 90.
Okay. Yeah. In 90?
In 90, early 90s. Okay. Everything changed in 96 after the Muttman Simon thing.
Yes, I remember.
The parole board actually changed their mission statement from rehabilitation to protecting the public.
Yeah, and with that comes punishment.
And with that came, everything was just punitive.
Yep.
There was nothing to help the incarcerated, there was nothing to help, you know. And a lot of things, you know, and it's crazy because a lot of those people who were locked up, even though they were locked up for crimes, they were victims too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, 100%. A lot of people don't see it that way, but they were. Yep. A lot of them were victims of circumstances.
Yeah. I spent 17 years in the penitentiary, so I was there throughout all that stuff as well, and I seen the times change from when we could go to college, you know, and take college courses and do all that stuff, and then they took all that away and it was just strictly you know, like punishment. The focus wasn't on rehabilitation anymore, unfortunately.
Right. And the question I have is that when they had the moratorium, they had a moratorium on parole in about like 2010, 2011.
Yeah, when the cops got killed.
When the cops got killed. Now, what happens is, and subsequently since then, you had the juvenile lifers were getting released because a doctor said that the human brain does not fully mature until a person is like 26
25 years old.
25 years old. Now, so if that's a scientific fact, as they're saying, And that was the reason for them to give the juvenile lifers a chance, because they were saying that they didn't know right from wrong when they committed their crimes. I'll propose that anybody who committed a crime up to that age, no matter what the crime is, fit the same bill, because they didn't know what right or wrong. It shouldn't just be because you had a homicide. It should be for whatever your crime is. Yeah. Why aren't we looking into that?
Because listen, I fell under that.
Right.
I was 1 second, let's change. I was certified at the age of 15.
Right.
You know. Right. So I also fell under that. And
right.
I think that's a really good point.
So my point is, so anyone who was locked up before the age of 25, no matter what the crime is, they should be given some type of amnesty or given some type of, you know, because once again, the science is saying that they're not fully aware of what they was doing at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
So why ain't nobody revisiting that?
That's
why can't we talk about that? Why can't we talk about the fact that every week, just like the day, Clip comes to this park? But what you don't see is trash cans on the end of this corner, and we know that people bring food all the time.
Listen, we came last Monday,
right,
and cleaned this side, we cleaned that side.
But my point being is that they wanted to be trash there so that they can say that, well, those people don't care. Look, they leave trash everywhere. No, you don't have no trash receptacles for them to put the damn trash in. I think it's a setup, personally. Yeah. You understand? Who knows? Why are we not pointing these things out?
Yeah, that's true.
They know that people bring food every day, damn near, right here. Why ain't no trash? The Clip can come here. Why can't Clip bring trash cans?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I mean, these are the things that I like to, you know, point out.
And I can see by speaking to you that I love the way you're thinking.
Right.
Because that's a mind state of like a problem solver.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay, we all see and admit there's a problem, but what can we do to solve the problem?
Yeah, where the solutions come in. I have a few solutions, but you know, you know how we looked at it as being the dregs of society, so we can possibly know, we can't know anything. You know, unfortunately.
So, at what age did drugs come into your life?
Drugs came into my life actually when I was 13 years old. That's the first time I smoked marijuana. Okay. I did it as a dare.
Now, okay, that's what I was gonna say. So
I did it as a dare. I used to go to skating rink, hanging around a lot of friends. You wouldn't do this. You can't even inhale a cigarette. Yeah. I smoked a joint before I smoked a cigarette, and I inhaled it. It was real high. I actually started liking the feeling. So marijuana definitely is my first love.
All right. Now, what age did any harder drugs come into your life?
About 16, 17.
Okay, can you explain that to me a little bit?
Same thing, going to the partying club, you know, back then powder was all the rage. You know, back then you had pills, but the pills were different. You had volumes, you had black beauties, things of that nature. Yeah. You know, so, you know, we had volumes with 5s and 10s. You know, I wasn't a real pill popper, but powder cocaine, snorting coke, you know, that going to the parties, you know, the after midnight, you know, skating and things of that nature. So that's how I got introduced to harder drugs. Then,
now oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, then, you know, when the crack cocaine everything came out, from selling it, then, you know, you're young, you want to experiment with drugs. I used crack, I put it with weed. That's what they called turbos back in the day. Yeah. Pretty sure you know. New York, they call them woos. Yep. So, and that's how I started doing that.
Now, did that become an addiction?
Yeah, well, anytime that you feel you need to do anything, you know, to make yourself right, it's an addiction. You know, I propose that, you know, everybody's an addict. I know people who go erratic if they don't have their cup of coffee in the morning. Yeah. And they're just not frowned upon because, you know, coffee is considered legal. Yep. But let them not have that cup of coffee, you never know. They'll snap on the secretary, they'll snap on their co-workers, and, you know, so yeah. And that's crazy because
it's almost like popular to be like, oh, don't talk to me until I have my coffee.
Until I have my coffee.
Or don't talk to me until I have my glass of wine.
There you go, exactly. My glass of wine.
Yeah. So, you know. And it's just a little different.
But yeah, it became an addiction for me.
You got 2 tens?
But the reality of the fact is, no, sir.
I'm sorry, my bad.
But the reality of the fact is, for me is, you know, I was always an excitement and a thrill seeker anyway. So anything that I've done, I didn't really do as far as committing crimes or doing anything, you know, illegal. I did not really for the love of the drugs because I just loved that thrill of doing things anyway. Okay. Drugs played a part of it after the fact. Yeah. You know, I can have a pocket full of money and drugs. I still might want to do something. So it's not I'm doing that to get the drugs already there.
Yeah. That's a lot similar to my situation also. Right. I remember the first time I got high with heroin, the first time I sniffed a bag, at the time I was getting money. I had $50,000 in my safe. So I didn't resort to heroin because I get money. It was cheaper or anything. You know what I mean? It was just because nothing else was really working.
Right.
Yeah. So at what age would you say that the drugs became that much of a problem that you knew, okay, something's going on here?
See, that's the thing though, you know, maybe it's a matter of perspective. I'm the type of person, if I don't do a certain drug, I'ma feel bad. See, I suffer from depression. A lot of people wouldn't know it. Yeah. But that drug actually levels me out and brings me up. It makes me happy. Yeah. When I don't have it, that's when I'm angry. That's when I'm, that's when I'm real depressed.
Do you take any medication for your mental health?
I have, but the things that they prescribed me did not work. You know, the Remeron, the Trazodone, the Prozac, the Zoloft, none of them things didn't work.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
And so, where are you staying at now? Are you homeless? Or?
No, I'm staying with my aunt currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you just sort of come down here to hang out,
fellowship. Right, exactly.
And what's dang, brother almost got hit by a car. What's your favorite childhood memory? If you could say one childhood memory, your favorite, what would it be?
Oh well, shit, I had a lot of those. Just growing up, even though we only had like what 8, 9 channels on the TV. Saturday mornings, I love Saturday mornings. Getting up early, watching the cartoons. Midday, you can watch your wrestling. Then it goes into the horror movies and things like that. Even though we had limited channels, you could always find something on TV. Whereas now you got 1,000 channels and all garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. So
And so how's your life right now as far as drugs are concerned? Do you have a drug issue? I mean,
I would say I have a drug issue, but it's not overwhelming. It's not to the point where it's taking over my life.
Okay.
I could actually sit for hours or days even, and be all right. Like the other day, I slept through the whole day. Got up just to use the bathroom and eating things of that nature. Didn't even think about a drug.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I wouldn't say that I have an overwhelming addiction, so to speak.
Okay.
But I know that there are some. It's a matter of attitude too. It's not always what you do; it's how you do it.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. And there's people out there that they can, sort of casually use drugs. I know I can't do that though.
Now that's the thing though. When I was growing up, you had what I believe were true crackheads, meaning that back then, no matter what they got their hands on, they sold. They stole from their mother, they stole from their children, stole from their brothers. They would sell their children. Yeah. Now, I propose there got to be something different in the drug itself because people physiologically are still the same. However, I have seen a lot of people who have addictions who are now called functioning addicts. Why? Because they have cell phones and they pay their cell phone bill. You don't hear about them stealing from their family and all that. So what is it? What changed? The only thing I could see that changed was maybe the drug itself. Or something that was added to the drug or taken away from the drug. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
it's totally different now. You will always hear back in the 80s, early 90s about, well, this person done did this, they done did that, just in casual conversation. Yeah. You don't hear that no more.
Yeah, and I think it's also, it boils down to the person too.
Right.
Like I said, there's people that if they have $5 left to their name, they're not going to spend that last $5 on drugs.
On drugs, no. They're going to have something to eat, exactly.
Put some money to pay a bill, stuff like that.
Exactly.
And then there's other people that they're going to spend that last $5 and they're going to go steal 10 more.
Exactly. How about that?
Yeah.
If that comes down to the person.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, because off camera I've spoken to you, and I know people who talk to you, and I have a real thorough understanding on why it is you do what you do. And I just want you to know it is appreciated by some of us. Some people just won't get it and they don't see it because they're not ready right now. Yeah. So I think you're doing a service to for the community. So that's a good thing.
Brother. And I appreciate that. And I understand. Some people just don't get it.
Right.
Some people might get it when they get clean.
When they get clean, right, exactly.
And some people don't want to get it.
They don't want to get it. That's right.
All that, you know, to me, that's all.
Everything comes in time. It's just not time for them. So, you know.
Very well said, brother.
Yes, sir.
Well, with that, I thank you for the interview. I thank you for taking your time, brother, and sharing your wisdom with us.
And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to have this interview.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
I definitely appreciate it.
All right. Much.